Hello everybody, this is Shambhavi from Shambhavi Spectrum. And in this particular episode, I'm going to talk to you about mind map. I had the fortune of learning about mind map from Tony Buzan, the master himself. It was in a workshop which was conducted for college faculty. And though I had heard the word mind map before this, and I somewhat knew how it was done, there was nothing like learning from Tony Buzan because he actually opened our mind to the fact that we use such a minuscule part of what our brain is capable of. We can do so much more. And this inspired me to a great extent to follow mind map, to teach it to people who use it in various platforms, premises, whether it's a student or an entrepreneur. Mind maps can actually be very beneficial. Now, many people use online mind maps, which has its own advantages. I am, however, going to talk to you about creating a mind map on person, hard copy, using a paper, a pen, and I'm going to show this to you on this whiteboard. Now, the things which Tony Buzan said, which I remember, it's like an echo in my mind, is most often we use black and blue as colors while we are writing anything or studying anything. We hardly try to be any creative in any way, and these are actually, black and blue are monochromatic colors, and they are so boring. When we are children, we love to play with colors. We color everything, including the walls, and as we grow older, we become very restricted to using just black and blue. If you're a teacher, you may be using a red. If you're a head of an institution, you may be using a green, but those are very, very less used, and black and blue is the most preferred. Now, my father always used pink or a magenta color, which was like nice and bright, and you knew that he was completely involved in the writing which he was doing. Again, a pen to paper man. And so the first thing Tony Buzan said is, to successfully create a mind map, you need what is an A3 size paper. And let me tell you this, that recently I created a mind map on A4 size, and it was not the same as creating on an A3 size paper. So you need an A3 size paper, and minimum you need 4 colors, 4 different colors. And mind map, if you are looking at it for studying, then you create the mind map yourself. And this is my personal experience, as I have shared with my students in the past, is it takes you about 2 hours to create your own mind map for any chapter. And then once you have done that, let us look at it that if you have 10 chapters in a particular exam, okay, and you have created this mind map using 2 hours earlier on, then you keep looking at it. Initially, Tony Buzan advises you to look at it every day, then look at it every week, and then again, come back to it depending on what your urgency of the requirement is to use it. So I would say the same thing. You can look at it maybe weekly, because every day we won't have time as students. You can look at it weekly once, and or maybe paste it in somewhere where whenever you're passing by, it goes into your subliminal mind, and you're able to slowly start grasping and retain what is in the mind map, not forgetting that you have created it yourself. And then comes the day of the exam. The day you have the exam, the previous day, you are trying to look at all your notes, look at all the material you have, the slides, book, everything. However, if you've created these mind maps earlier on, it takes you only 15 minutes per chapter to revise, which means you can do your whole revision in a very relaxed manner, in a very quick way, less time and more accurate. And you're not going helter-skelter searching for material at that particular time and stressing yourself and stressing everybody around you. So that is as a student's life. As the life of an entrepreneur or an employer or an employee, you've created this mind map, which actually is going to not only tell you what are the tasks to be done, it also helps allocate responsibilities to different people. And then once they have completed the task, they can go ahead and tick it off in the mind map saying that this task is done. So we are not micromanaging that particular thing or worrying about everything at the same time. And not everybody is worried about everyone else. You know what to focus on because certain things are clear for you by now. So coming back, A3 size paper, 4 color pens, and then depending on the frequency that you want to use it on and how you want to use it. I'm going to use the example of vacation to tell you how to create a mind map, or rather how I use mind maps and how I create mind maps. So join me now here. So we will use, I'm just going to write here, A3 size paper, and we are going to use 4 color pens. At least. You could do more than that also. What we will be doing is in the middle of the page, we can write what our chapter number is, what our project is, what our event that we are going to look at, anything you can write. I told you I like to talk about vacation. So let's talk vacation. Now I'm going to specify this and say that this is a family vacation. Now I have a couple of ways of doing this. One is I can look at which destination I want to go and use that one color pen here and use the same color pen for different headings. What are the things that I need to carry with me, maybe some basic food which I need, some medicines. So what I'm doing here is using the same color pen for the main headings. You can, however, choose to go for one heading and the sub whatever points you have with one color pen and do these in different colors. It's completely up to you what you want to do. So destination, food, medicine, transport, money, and this could also mean the currency. Okay, and I am looking here at medicine, transport, money, currency, inform people. And one of the things which we very often forget is shut down. Okay. Now, when we speak about destination, where do I want to go? That is one. And within this, which are the places I want to visit? This is, I can make a list of this. Further, I am looking at what are the food, if I have got babies with me, then what are the food that I'm carrying? I have senior citizens with me. What are the food that I need to take? Same way, meds. Something which we forget always is to take first aid material with us, because a band-aid, a Panadol is always helpful. Then transport. Now this transport I can suggest in 2 ways. One would be the transport to the airport, and then which would also be when I return, how do I come back home? And transport here can also be for in my destination, how do I go? Now we could have had this here also, place in transportation. It's completely up to you, and that's what, like I said. Now if you are a person who loves doodling and drawing, you can probably draw, a bike or a car or whatever you want out here. It's your choice. So we are talking about the place. Then if we have place, we further need to maybe talk about visas. Okay, so let's look at where are we going, what is the visa formality, what are the documentations, how early do we need to get visas. You can make all this information, put it out there on the mind map, and if you have your family members, they could actually help fill up this information out here. You can allot this task to somebody, you can allot this task to somebody, this to someone, 2-3 people could be doing the same things also. But once you have told them, let's say that your husband is taking care of the destination, or your spouse rather I should say is taking care of the destination and the visa formalities and doing the research work, you don't need to be focusing on that. Then you could actually focus on what is the money, the currency, what, how much money will you be needing. And I know we all are into e-wallets and everything, but still when you go to destinations you need to tip people, for which you need cash. So it's not always possible. You may also, if you have only an e-wallet, you may not have a network at that particular time. So little bit of cash is always good, and cash is king. I believe in that, because sometimes when you go to an ATM, your ATM maybe it's not working. Carrying some currency of basic of the destination where you're going to is always a good idea. And then of course the kids who collect that later on as like just you have stamp collectors, you have coin collectors, kids love having currencies of different countries, so you could give it to them. So that's then this comes from here, that you have to inform people. And so if we are informing people, who do we need to tell? From where we are when we are leaving. So maybe I want to inform my neighbors about it, that I'm traveling and I'm not going to be here. You want to inform any helpers that you have that you're not going to be there. Let's say you have somebody who comes to do your garden once a week. You have someone who comes in regularly, kind of deep cleans your house, and you want to tell them whether you're going to be there or not. And these all can be put in this section. Plus, if you're going to a destination, you want to inform people who are at that end. If you have friends and family that you are going to be arriving on so and so date, and you would love to meet up with them, go ahead and you could do this. Now when we have destinations, we also could be looking at hotels, you could be looking at shows, you could be looking at, okay, so we have hotels, you have any shows that you want to see. All this can be covered in a specific manner. Now when we say shut down, and this is something which most people forget, is about making sure that you've paid all your bills, your electricity bill and your telephone bills and all that, and you have done what is required to, so that when you come back everything is working and the way it should be. Because very often when we forget, and nobody wants to come back to a house which is in darkness, or that your phone, your landline is not working. I know not many people use landlines nowadays, but think about all those things which you would need to shut down and to make sure that things are smooth when you come back. So going back again, as a student, you use this to put a chapter and or one particular topic and put all the main headings in one color, or you could use each heading, subheading in different colors. As a person for a company, you could be putting this into whatever your project is, who is taking care of each part of the project, and that can be allotted with the names written. Now you can also write these in, if you're a student especially, you write some keywords out there and acronyms which help people remember what they're supposed to do, and that can be at any point. For a family vacation, it's a family vacation, so the whole family should be contributing to it, right? So get people to do their research work. Maybe the kids can help with the research, the kids can help with the packing, the kids can help with the shopping. And yes, I did not put shopping and all out here in detail, because nowadays more and more people are concentrating on managing with what they have rather than doing fresh shopping for a journey. But yes, if you're going to a destination where you need winter clothing or summer clothing, pack accordingly. So actually I would say here that you have one category here for packing, though I am not going to put one for shopping. All right, so this is the way in which one can use mind map. What I would like you to do is create a mind map and share it with me, and let's see how we can work more on that. Go ahead, use as many colors as possible, doodle out here if that's what you like, draw, make any kind, and you can have more and more branches of these, as many as you like and the way you want to do. This is your mind map created by you, so make sure that it is you and you own up to it. Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed the journey.